Ladies and gentlemen, good morning and welcome to digital marketing class. Please interact with me in the chat box just to indicate that you can see the screen as well as you can hear me well. So you can interact with any smiley emoticon face, a happy mood or any face there. I'm currently sharing a screen that shows chapter 7, traffic building. You can also have a textbook in front of you. We will be highlighting some important aspects in the chapter. So it says we are on page 361. So let's quickly go there. So on page 361, you've got traffic building, and there is a quote there. It's also in the textbook. If you build it, they will come. This quote comes from a movie actually called Field of Dreams. So in the movie, there is a scene whereby the character is actually building a field, a baseball field, and he was wondering whether people will come and support and they will buy tickets and they will come to that field. Suddenly he heard a voice that if you build it, they will come. So this quote comes in a manner that if you build any platform or online platform where you want to sell your products or services, could be an e-commerce website, people will come to that website. But in digital marketing, we question this quote a lot because we tend to say if you build something, people will come, but it's not usually the case. Sometimes a good website can be built and no one visits the website because there are no traffic building tactics, meaning that there is nothing that drives people to the website. So hence we consider traffic building techniques that we be talking about today. At the bottom of the slide here, you've got digital marketing plan using our source stack planning framework. And you will see stand for situation analysis and the O objectives, strategy, tactics, actions, and control. So far, we've covered the first three important aspects of the digital marketing plan. So today we'll be covering the fourth one, which is tactics. You'll remember with situation analysis, we were considering chapter 2, doing the remix, where we considered the 8 Ps. It's basically just to analyze what the organization is currently doing. Sometimes when I mark your assessments, there are some few students which are still struggling a bit with situation analysis, and the common mistake that is usually happening, or I find, is that students tend to suggest strategies here or suggest what the company should do, but under situation analysis, we don't provide any suggestions. So we don't make any strategies, or we don't actually give management any advices when we consider situation analysis. Basically our goal under situation analysis is to analyze what the company is currently doing. Do they have an online platform? Do they have online promotions? Are they having any partnerships? So we basically say what the case study tells us here. Objectives, you'll remember this is chapter 1, where we consider sell, serve, save, serve, as well as sizzle. So this is whereby you should suggest what the company should do. So in this case, you don't analyze. So there are quite some few students who are still analyzing under objective, but it's vice versa. You only analyze in the first aspect, which is situation analysis. Under objectives, that's where you suggest. So this is where you should basically structure your statement using the words such as should. For example, a company should increase online subscribers, the company should. So as soon as you use those words, it shows that you are suggesting and you are providing the strategic objectives there. Under strategy, these are 2 chapters. You will see on chapter 5, we've got social media, and then chapter 6, we've got website as well as mobile marketing. So these are the only strategies that are considered in the textbook, but in the overall digital marketing plan in general, there is more than these strategies. Another aspect to look at this strategy, or another perspective, is for you to consider the place under situation analysis. Remember, under place, we consider 2 things. We consider access, for example, at supplier side, as well as intermediary side, as well as transactions, whether they are at supplier side, intermediary side, or customer side. So usually we consider the website and we consider the mobile app. Social media marketing is another strategy that some companies are using. They will advertise their products there. They will communicate with their customers. Some they will even make sales, convert customers under social media marketing. Especially small business organizations, it's recommended that they should have a social media page. And then because it's cost effective compared to website and mobile marketing there. The only problem with social media marketing is that most of the time it's at intermediary side, it's not at the supplier side, which means that you rely on intermediary. You'll remember that things such as Facebook, for example, Instagram, there was a blackout at some stage a few weeks ago, so you can see how that could affect your business if you rely on social media marketing. Once again, just to add here, another strategy that it's missing here is digital signage, for example. Digital signage in a form of kiosk. It's also another strategy whereby you can sell our products. Some practical example of that, we're talking about things such as your McDonald's. You will see they have a strategy there. And at McDonald's, there are kiosks, you can order products and so on. I can hear that one mic is on. Do you have any questions? You can ask right away. Ladies and gentlemen, just remember that I'm unable to see any interaction that is happening on the Microsoft Teams app at the moment. So if you have any questions, please do not hesitate just to interrupt there. You just unmute your mic and you can ask a question there, since I won't be able to see them on the Microsoft Teams app. Or you can just write it in the chat box. I will attend to it. And as I was saying, regarding digital signage, kiosks, McDonald's, ATMs for banks, that's another strategy, but it's still a digital signage when you categorize it, because it's a kiosk as well. So ATMs, it's some sort of a digital signage strategy that can be considered, but in this textbook, they only talk briefly about it, especially on chapter 1, if you read where they talk about platforms or online platforms there. So now, if you follow here with the digital marketing plan, what we've done is that the company has hired us to be our digital marketing consultant, for example, and we say, okay, let's develop a digital marketing plan for you. And when we develop that digital marketing plan, we will start by looking at what they are doing as a company. Then we propose some objectives for them. And then we look at strategies. What is important when you develop a digital marketing plan under strategy here is that these strategies are influenced by objectives. So for example, social media marketing can be used to serve customers. That will be us responding to comments, like it was indicated on chapter 5. You will see that you can use social media to sell, to promote products. That will be to speak. You can use it to sizzle. Website, similar. Mobile marketing, similar as well. So you must show that integration in the digital marketing plan. which strategy and is used for what objectives. Lastly, you need to also provide suggestion. How can they make these strategies better? For example, under social media marketing, if social media marketing is used to sell, there are various tactics that are indicated in the textbook to make it better. For example, social media, some tactics include social outpost, social research. That's whereby we review ratings, we respond to ratings, and that is usually to the objective to serve customers. The website, you can recommend, for example, things such as on chapter 6, they talk a lot about the website, the design of the website, how it should be designed, things such as breadcrumbs there, things such as the navigation structure. So you need to provide suggestion at the end of once you have identified what strategies they use for which objectives there. So let's look under tactics. The goal is to drive users or drive traffic to these strategies. So our goal is to basically drive traffic to our website, to our app, or to our Facebook page. So what can we use? We can use these 5 traffic building tactics. So we've got search marketing as a traffic building tactics, and we've got banner adverts, online PR, we've got our opt-in email as well as viral marketing there. Another perspective that you need to take into account here is that this is talking about traffic building. So if you look in terms of our objectives, traffic building is basically about selling, because what we are trying to do, we are trying to bring consumers to the website so that they can buy. We are persuading them actually using all these tactics that we have here. So when you develop your objectives, use any of these to make them practical. For example, if you are saying the company should increase new subscribers or acquire new subscribers, then you further indicate in your statement, you say by using search marketing. Under search marketing, you've got different types of search marketing. For example, you've got pay per click. That's whereby you become practical as well to say they should use pay per click and buy certain keywords, and you indicate the keywords. For example, if the case study is about Netflix, for example, the keywords that they can be bought there, it's online movies, things such as South African series and so on. So if you buy such keywords, we are trying to build traffic using search marketing. Or we use banner adverts, for example, if we put an ad on YouTube. So you can use all these tactics to make your objective, especially to sell objective, practical. Unfortunately, you cannot use these tactics for other objectives such as to save. You'll remember saving objectives it's actually left out from chapter 5. From social media, we no longer consider save. We only have those 4 objectives. The website does not consider save. Mobile marketing does not consider save. So saving objective cannot be used here. To sizzle is also too limited because these strategies are the main goal, like I've indicated, is to drive traffic to the website. So it's all about selling. So on the next slide there, you've got your traffic building tactic. And in a textbook, what you need to highlight there, it's on page 363. You will see at the bottom of the page, they talk about the key characteristics of effective traffic building. And then you can highlight those 3 key aspects of traffic building. The first one being targets. You've got your techniques. And you've got also your timing there. And then there are some words that are written in italic there, which they emphasize. For example, under timing, they talk about always on communication versus your fixed duration building campaign, which is only for a limited time, whereas always on it runs throughout the years. This table that you have here, it's important to understand it practically because this is the first thing that you will have to do or write it in the assessment in a practical manner. So for example, if you look at the case study that I've sent you yesterday, which was learning activity 7. So the case study that we have there, we've got Juke's case study, which you're quite familiar with because it's not new. There's nothing that has changed in the case study. It's only questions that have changed there. You will see they talk about develop a digital marketing plan for Juke's management based on a SOSTAC planning framework. And if you look at the SOSTAC planning framework, what it stands for, actually, like I've indicated, your situation analysis, objective, strategy, tactics, actions, and control. So you will see this table at the end of that digital marketing plan, your targets, your techniques, and timing. So this is what you need to indicate in this table, which is shown on the slide here. So that's the first thing that we are going to use to answer some sort of assessment questions. So how does it work? So if we build a traffic building campaign, the first thing we have to develop specific objectives for that campaign. So there are two aspects. So firstly, the objectives, it will be the number of visitors targeted. So this stays the same. You only just need to indicate the practicality of number of visitors targeted. So it will always depend on the case study. For example, if it's a case study such as your Jukes, your Showmax, your Netflix, these are actually very big organizations. So we can actually try there and target more subscribers than 1,000 for such organization. But for small organizations, we can target fewer customers. And it will also depend on the price that you have under here, cost of getting the visitor. The more it costs to get each visitor, the less visitors we're going to target. So if we have to target a lot of visitors, we cannot afford if the cost is quite huge here. So we'll have to think about that to make them practical. You will see if we say we target 1,000 new subscribers, and the cost maybe is a discount. So you can have different types of cost of getting a new visitors. Apply to the case study. It could be a refer a friend program whereby both the affiliate marketer gets maybe 100 Rand and the person that they referred to or a new customer that was referred, they also get 100 Rand. You will see that the cost becomes 200 Rand. It could be different types of stimuli that can be used here. For example, you can talk about something such as a free trial or a limited trial, which maybe it's a 1 month. But things such as a trial, when you think about the cost, then you will have to, if it's 1 month, you will make it practical in terms of the numbers or the figures. So you'll the month or this monthly subscription fee, it becomes a cost now because we're no longer getting that from a customer since they are using a free trial. So if, for example, to sign up for a certain, such as Netflix, if it's 99 Rand per month, and they get a free trial for a month, that becomes our cost as well. So it could be different types of practical examples, but what we are trying to emphasize here is how many people are we trying to target and how much will it cost us to target those people, and then it becomes our first objective that we have in these targets. And then step 2, we must achieve the correct mix. So you will understand this more into detail towards the end of this chapter, because we would have went through into detail about these different types of traffic building tactics. But what it essentially means about achieving the correct mix is that if you have a low cost budget, there are certain tactics that you can use. For example, this could be things such as your opt-in email. because it's cost effective. So opt-in email is a list of emails that we have whereby we send the customers some information or some promotional campaign. And we've got viral marketing. We can use that if we have a low cost. So the idea with viral marketing is that we are hoping that our promotion or our communication that we are writing to customers, they will pass along to other customers. We can incentivize that as well. For example, forward this to a friend, then get 5% discount. So looking at the low cost method, you can use viral marketing and opt-in email, because most of the time we refer to that as an owned media. And then if you have a limited budget, for example, it's no low cost, it's just an average budget that you have. You cannot go overboard. You can use things such as search engine optimization. You will see now search engine optimization, as we discussed, it is different from pay-per-click. Search engine optimization, it's all about actually posting as much as information as possible online. When you post a picture about the brand, you change the properties of the picture to put information there. So instead of posting a picture such that is saved or is titled image 1, instead of posting that picture, you can change the properties, rename the picture, and then you include the keywords of the brand. So if it's the picture, maybe it's about Netflix or video, so we will title it and write it Netflix, write online movies in the picture itself. As soon as we post it, the spiders of the search engine, they will be able to actually identify that information with our picture. So search engine optimization is another strategy that we can use with a limited budget, or online partnership we have there. But if we have enough money, we can use things such as banner advertising. Those are your YouTube adverts, those are your pop-up adverts, and we can use pay-per-click. You'll see these are very expensive traffic building tactics, but they are mostly effective than any other traffic building that we have. So what we are trying to do here, we are trying to actually combine 2 or more traffic building tactics to achieve a specific objective. For example, maybe we want to use limited budget, or actually, let's say maybe we have to get new customers. You will see that the correct mix there, it will be aligned with things such as banner adverts or pay-per-click. Although they are expensive, but they are most effective to achieve objectives such as this one here. And at the bottom of the table there, you've got specified the traffic building campaign duration. So all your tactics that you have here, you need to indicate whether they're gonna be a fixed duration, or they're gonna run for a fixed duration, or they're gonna be an always on communication method. So for example, if we say we're going to start with banner adverts to drive traffic to our website, those banner adverts, we can use them maybe for 3 months, or it could be for 6 months. So we indicate that there, that our fixed duration will be banner adverts. If we use pay-per-click, it can also be fixed duration. For example, we can buy certain keywords from Google, and then we limit those for 1 year and so on, because we don't want to continue this duration for as a always on. Always on, it becomes things such as your online PR, for example, can be yours always on. This is whereby we submit news stories and then we publish. We've got a blog. So all those, they are permanent, in other words. So the campaign, maybe it could also include things such as your opt-in email. Opt-in email, you can run them maybe on a monthly basis. You send newsletters, and it's something that goes on forever in an organization. So your techniques that you have here, you repeat them at the end here, but you also specify the duration here at the end, how long they should run for. So the dates are also important there. So you also need to indicate, for example, if it's a fixed duration, you indicate maybe from January to June, 6 months. So let's look into detail these traffic building tactics so that we understand them better and we are able to identify and suggest and provide some sort of recommendations to management how they can improve or use them better. So you've got this table on the next slide. This is a very important table. It actually summarizes what we'll be looking to in this chapter. So firstly, we've got definition there of what is a traffic building. It's a promotional campaign strategy aimed at increasing the number of visitors to a digital marketing strategy that we have. So this is a promotional campaign to increase customers to come to the website, to come to the mobile app or download the mobile app. They indicate in the textbook there on page 366, if you follow with the textbook, and you will see that they talk about the fact that even the best designed websites will fail if there is no any proactive digital marketing activities to attract visits to the media. So this is what we talk about, whereby we criticize that code, whereby they say if you build it, they will come. We know that there is quite a lot of practical example where it makes sense. In South African context, if you build a club, people will visit your club, or a tavern. If you you start your own company, people will support your company. But we criticize that fact in terms of the website. If a website is created, it does not mean that customers will be able to reach your website without some sort of a digital marketing activity. So it's important to use any of this. So they are divided into three aspects. You will see there they talk about own media, earned media, and paid media. Just going back in the textbook, you will highlight this on page 363, whereby in the first paragraph there, under introduction to traffic building, they talk about what is the difference between paid media, own media, and earned media. There you will see it on page 363 there. So own media, we've got more control with earned media being based on the reputation and quality of the website. And the paid media is whereby you can use, for example, cash to stimulate or to target customers using that. So we've got these 5 traffic building tactics here. The first one being search marketing. So this is about search engine. So whenever someone refers to search marketing, they're always referring to a search engine, which is usually your Google, your Yahoo, your Bing there. But I think we can all agree that Google is mostly the common search engine that we have. So under search marketing, it's search engine optimization and pay per click. What you see here is that search engine optimization is under earned media, where else pay per click is under paid media. So this is quite expensive. This is less expensive. The difference, like I've said here, search engine optimization, it's about posting as much as information as possible, your pictures, your videos, and you use, you do conduct some sort of research of what information is available online regarding the brand. So the idea is that when a person search your company on Google or use various keywords, is that as soon as your company or your brand appears, it should have as much information as possible, including the ratings and so on, the images of the products. So hence, we optimize search engine using available data regarding the company. Banner advertising, we've got 3 types of banner advertising, but all of them, banner advertising is an earned media, Once you use banner advertising, just know that you're gonna pay. There's no way you can use this under low cost budget. So we've got intermediate advert, your pop-up ad, as well as your native advertising there, and all these three types of ads. Basically, the differences among them is that intermediate, it comes before a customer can be allowed to view the next page or to continue viewing the video. Best example is YouTube. YouTube, where you, before you watch music video, there will be an ad and you cannot skip it for 5 seconds. So it intimidates you. Think about the word intermediate. It means it will make more sense because intermediate, it means before, in other words. So the advert will play before you actually allowed to continue. And then we have your pop-up adverts. I think we're familiar with this one. They will just come up in the basically at any stage. You will you will be busy reading on the website, and then they just pop up. And we should be careful about pop-up adverts because we've got those pop-up blockers. Most people, they use them so that they don't appear because they are quite annoying, basically. And then with the native ad, basically native ad usually it will be like similar products on the website where we advertise, and then they show us some similar products. This could be related products. Native ad, it's also contextualized. It could be whereby you read an article and then it's contextualized to an article. For example, an article could be about debt. For example, maybe they wrote an article about debt, credit scores, things such as they wrote about borrowing money from the bank and so on. And then we can advertise in that article. For example, if we are a bank, maybe we are West Bank, and then we can put our advert in the middle of the article. So as a user reads the article, he won't quite have an idea that now he's reading an advert. So we can advertise there. So at some stage, it could also be a video that it's also aligned. If you go to, especially the news articles such as your News 24, your Sowetan Live, you'll see a lot of native ads there. But you'll see that every time you read a specific article, the advert will be related to that article. So you won't see a McDonald's advert while you are reading about something such as cars and so on. So maybe you can see things such as insurance when you're reading about cars and so on. Online public relations and partners. We've got your brand mentions there, your news, for example. This is whereby they publish stories about you. For example, if you think about Facebook and WhatsApp, there were a lot of new. It was even on TV. There were a lot of articles, blogs written about why it went. Actually, it became a blackout and so on. So as soon as another company, or especially the journalist, write about your company, it become a brand mention. Our brand was mentioned in the news. Online, and then we can use affiliate marketing. This is whereby we talk about refer a friend, for example. We can also use affiliate marketing in terms of your celebrities there. It's also affiliate marketing. It does not always have to be a refer a friend or someone that is our customers. We can use one person as an affiliate marketer. For example, think about your Caspanyo vest for Samsung there. It's some sort of affiliate marketing there. And then online sponsorship, usually you will see most events, they will have sponsors. And then in terms of an event whereby we sponsor it, it could be a web seminar, for example, and then it's sponsored by Standard Bank, it's sponsored by a certain company. And then we also spoke about the opt-in email campaign. You will see we've got 4 different types of opt-in email campaigns. And this is a first, basically, traffic building tactic that we've discussed so far that has all available options for your own media, your end media, as well as paid media. You'll see the first 3, they don't have own media. So the first one whereby we can actually have our own media under opt-in email is our house list emails. This is whereby we've got a list of people who have indicated that they would like to receive emails from us. It could be on monthly basis. And then you've got those ones that you rent. You can rent an email, for example, from another company. So if, let's say, a company such as your DSTV has a list of subscribers whereby they send them newsletters every day. So something such as your Netflix can come in there and say they want to advertise to those customers, and then it could happen in various ways. Where it's rented, we use our own name or our own organization, our own brand in the from line of the email. So the from line of the email, it won't say from DSTV, it will say from Netflix. If it's Netflix, it will say from Jukes. So it will say the email is coming directly from Jukes. So when we rent it, we also rent that line where it says from. Where else where it's co-branded or third-party newsletters, our company information won't appear in the from line of the email. So it will still come from the direct. So if the email list originally it belongs to DSTV, so customers will receive this email from DSTV, where else we are advertising as part of that email. So it could be a co-branded email. That's where we've got a partnership with the company. And in that partnership, both of us, we can promote our products, or we can advertise in their newsletter. So the newsletter that they send to consumers, and then we put our ad in that newsletter, and that becomes third-party newsletters. And usually that's the expensive one. You can see it's under paid media, so they will charge us for doing that. The reason we're using the word cold under rented email is that because it's not effective. So hence the word cold is not effective. As soon as a person receives an email and they never signed up to receive that marketing from that company, they tend to ignore it or just put it under spam. Hence is a cold email. So it's quite not recommended, but in certain circumstances, it can be used as well. So lastly, we've got viral marketing there. And with viral marketing, it's similar to our opt-in email. It's actually having all those classifications there from own media and paid media. So viral marketing, we can use our own email list. So this email list that we have here, we can try and write something that is catchy or it's having a wow effect. It could be a hashtag something, and you send it to consumers with the hope that they will send to other customers. So that becomes a viral email. So opt-in email and viral email, you will see there's quite few similarities that we have there. For example, anything that you actually do as a viral marketing, it's mostly done via email, or it can also be done on the website. So the first one, what they talk about there, email viral, it's whereby we send an email to customers and we include some sort of catchy phrase there or your hashtag, hoping that they will forward that to other friends. Email prompt viral, the difference with the first one is that in the content of the email, so the email that we send to a customer, it will have a link that say, for example, forward to a friend or forward to your family, and then as soon as they click on the link, and then it send an email. So it prompt users to actually forward that email. So the first one, it does not prompt them. This one, it's having a link that says forward to the friend. So you will see the difference is that the first one, maybe you can send a video, a nice video. Usually animals, they tend to trend, or it could be something that it's related to a shared experience. Anything that we share together, it could be like Heritage Day, Nelson Mandela Day, something like that. if we put some sort of a video regarding that without any link that says forward to a friend, because as soon as we include that link, that forward this email, we are actually talking about email prompt viral now. Web prompt viral is the same characteristics that we have under email prompt viral. It actually prompts users to refer their friends or family, but the difference that we have is that this link is on the email, whereas this link is on the website. So maybe when we promote products, this is whereby maybe we advertise, we send a catalog. If we are a retail store, let's say we are Macro, and we just publish the catalog on the website showing promotions, and then we just put it a prompt there that says share this catalog with a friend. So as soon as they click share, maybe it asks for their email address of their friends. It could also be cell phone numbers. It could be a QR code. So it's not necessary should be via email. So they can forward using other communication channels. As long as we prompt these users on the website, it becomes a web prompt viral. Incentivize viral. We actually reward customers for sharing our message. So for example, that's whereby we say refer to a friend, get 5% off. You will see that incentivize viral is similar to affiliate marketing, because as soon as you say refer to a friend and basically you pay those customers, we tend to refer to them as affiliate marketers, but we should talk about the differences that we have between affiliate marketing and incentivize viral. With affiliate marketing, the goal is to sell. So when they refer to a friend, maybe they are referring to a friend so that friends should sign up for example, they could say refer to a friend to download Uber Eats and they get promotion, or download Bolt's app or download Uber Eats app. And then we say we get 100% discount. That is affiliate marketing, because the goal was to get customers. Incentivize viral, on other hand, is not a situation whereby we say refer. We tend to use the word share. For example, share this post on your social media. It's not about, the post is not about new subscribers. Maybe the post is just about what is void, whereby it's video on demand, and then we put a nice advert so people understand what is a video on demand. So we hope that that message or that video will trend on social media, and then we pay people just to actually share our video. So you will see it's not affiliate marketing, because we cannot measure, for example, things such as traffic, that to say these people were referred by a specific person, because the goal was mainly to promote, to increase brand awareness. So they will just share and then they will receive their discount. Web link viral, which is the last one. We will be, in this case, sharing a link. So a link, for example, it could be a hashtag something, hashtag ask why. You'll remember Capitec used a web link viral, and that's a good practical example whereby they talk about ask why, hashtag ask why, and then consumers participated in those hashtags. So as soon as you type hashtag ask why on search engine, by 2011 or 2012, when it was still trending, you will see a lot of customers talking about fees, ask why, and so on. So that is a web link viral, or it could also be a QR code. It's also a web link viral, because QR code is just a link. It could also be a link itself, a web link, for example, to say visit this website to read more about our products. So it can be viral, whereby we've seen this quite a lot on our WhatsApp messaging app, whereby someone will send you a link, maybe say, check this product out. So it's a web link viral that we're talking about there. Or your TikTok videos, as soon as you click share, most of the time it goes through a link. We know that most people actually save those videos, and that's why TikTok have that trademark on those videos. so that it can also drive traffic to their website. So as soon as maybe you screenshot a video of a TikTok and then you post it, or you save it on your computer and you post it, is not a web link viral. But if you click share and then you say share via WhatsApp, you will see that what it does, it only send a link rather than the video. So that becomes sort of a web link viral as well. So I've spent some quite times explaining this into detail. However, it's just giving you an overall picture of what are the differences between these traffic building tactics. So in general, we've got 5. And then under the first one, we've got 2, we've got 3 under the second one. So just to understand how this table works. And it will also help you in terms of, remember in our previous slides, we talked about achieving the correct mix here. And regarding achieving the correct mix, when you come to the next slide, you will see that this is a correct mix. If we use house list emails and email variant, we know that is a low cost budget. We can combine any of this whereby we've got the limited budget. We can combine any of this whereby we've got enough or sufficient budget here. For example, all this you will see they are the expensive one, and this side they are the low cost ones. So these are further explain or discuss into detail. And what we're going to discuss now is to look basically the strategies. So remember, on your digital marketing plan, you will be analyzing what company is currently using as a traffic building tactic. So if they talk about things such as refer to a friend, we know they are using some sort of an affiliate marketing. So once we have identified and examined that they're using that, we must provide some sort of suggestions that if they are using affiliate marketing as digital organization, what should they consider or be aware of? So we've got about 5 strategies: a strategy for search marketing, strategies for banner advertising, strategies for viral marketing. So these are also in the textbook. I would also indicate the page numbers as we go along. So let's start with the first one, which is search marketing. And under search marketing, we can also talk about the differences that we have there between what is SEO and PPC. There, your pay-per-click and search engine optimization. And you will see that, like I've indicated, this becomes your earned media, this becomes your paid media. So if you look on page 368, you can also highlight there, that's the first one that we have, search engine optimization. And then they show you nice diagram. For example, on page 369, they're showing your Google search results there. That will be figure 7.3. Basically, what you see in that figure, you will see the words add next to the first 4 links, and the last 2 links do not have the word add there. So they differentiate that the first 4 links where you see the word add, that is pay per click. So as a customer, as soon as I click any of those insurances, the insurance company will pay Google for every click that we have there. But if you look at the last 2 results, or the last 2 links there, that is your search engine optimization. What search engine optimization mean? It simply means that we're trying to appear in the first page, in the natural results. So you can also highlight the second sentence on page 368. They talk about we naturally turn to a search engine when we are looking or seeking new information. And as you read throughout on the next page, on page 369, at the bottom of the page there, that's where you can also highlight search engine optimization involves achieving the highest position or ranking practical in the natural or organic listing on the search engine results. So the idea is that we post as much as information as possible. So you will see the 2 strategies that we have under search engine optimization. The first one being blended search. And then blended search, it talks about, actually, if you look on page 376, They give you nice examples there of what is blended search and how it works, and you can also highlight there. Not 376, it's the one on 370. Let's quickly see here. Yeah, they start on page 370. They start by explaining for you how search engine results pages are produced. And on page 372, you've got key phrase analysis. And on page 376, what we want to indicate there, they talk about improving search engine rankings through search engine optimization. So the first strategy, what we refer to here on the slide, is called blended search. And what it actually means with blended search, it talks about the first one, if you highlight in the textbook, example of blended search will be on 377, where they talk about alternative image tags. And I've explained or illustrated this example. So your images that you post, you try by as much as possible to change the properties. They give you some step by step there. So instead of posting an image called maybe image one, it will rather be car insurance, because as soon as person search for car insurance on Google search engines, the search engines won't provide images that are titled image one, image two. It will try and provide images that says car insurance. So that's a good example that they use their document metadata. They show you some examples if you are posting a document, how you can optimize it. And then that's when we get to 378, where they talk about blended search or universal search. So a blended search, they talk about practical examples such as external linking there at the bottom on page 378. On the next page 379, they talk about identifying and creating popular content. That will be maybe pictures or your TikTok videos, or as much as information as possible. Identify potential partners. You will see it on page 379. That's Roman figure 2 there. Identify potential partners, which can be bloggers, for example, or this could also include traditional media sites, like you can partner with a TV show in order to drive traffic to your website. So it's a partnership, can also include offline digital media there, in other words. But with pay-per-click, it's different. Remember here, it's let me use a practical example here of blended search so you can all further understand what we're talking about. So if we quickly run a search, or we quickly go to our search engine, which is Google, and let's say here we search something such as Mavusana Rooibos tea. This is another project that we are busy with, but I wanted to show you that there is a Rooibos tea that it's a premium Rooibos tea that was founded by Mavusana from Cape Town recently. But can you see when we search it on search engine, what we get? We get things such as a news article on IOL. You get your Facebook. And okay, in the images, you can see how the product looks like. What I'm trying to illustrate here is that this brand is not yet using search engine to its maximum potential. Because if you use search engine to its maximum potential, as soon as a customer search something such as this one, he should see something appearing here on the right. That's the first thing, whereby it talks about your company, your brand, your directions, and so on. So let me illustrate using an example. Let's say maybe something such as main lane. So if we say main lane mall, for example, you see this is blended search. They used it beautifully there because they were able to post all this information so that it becomes easier for customers to get as much as information. You'll see reviews, you'll see telling you when it's busy, main lane, at what times. You will see things such as your links, for example, to the website directions and so on. To further illustrate where the blended search is used more, it will be whereby the products also appear here and they show prices as well. So I think Google is also, the search engine is also trying to become an e-commerce site. For example, let's say maybe we say PlayStation 4 or PlayStation 5. You can see now, you can see things such as prices, showing you the links to buy a certain product. So you will see something such as that one, but this one are basically adverts. What we need a good example of a digital organization. So let's go for a retail digital organization, especially your online fashion stores. So Superlist, for example, I think they use, yeah, you can see now this is a good blended search that they are using here for Superlist, meaning that they post as much as information on the search engine website itself so that customers get information. Whereas pay-per-click, it's simple, you just buy keywords. So with search engine optimization, it takes time, hence it's an earned media. It takes time to do this. Could be 2 years while you are trying to actually put as much as information as possible, where you try to document your videos, changing properties and having your news being published and so on. So under pay-per-click, they talk about what are the tactics or recommendations as a digital marketing tactics that we have there. For example, if you're using pay-per-click, we should consider using the bid management tools. So you will see on page 391 now in the textbook, that's whereby they talk about how you can manage your pay-per-click. And then you can highlight where they talk in that paragraph about optimizing pay-per-click. And then they will give you some strategies that you can use. For example, the first one being that bid management tool that we can use is at the bottom of the page on page 391. You can highlight there. Some search engines include their own bid management tools. They give you example about Google there on the next page. How does a bid management tool works? Basically, when something that it's quite interesting is that when we buy keywords on search engine, these keywords do not have a price or a fixed price. Whenever you buy keywords, you will see they work on some sort of an auction system. Even YouTube adverts, interestingly enough, YouTube adverts, they also use the bid management tools. So meaning that I can raise a bid basically to purchase certain keywords and actually buy them at a higher price so that our competitors don't have those keywords. At some stage, you can find nice keywords or good keywords that are not used, which means that their bid feeds gonna be low. So if you use these bid management tools, you'll be able to see all that information there. On page 393, you also need to highlight the second paragraph where they talk about be aware of fake clicks or be aware of click fraud there. So what we're trying to illustrate there is that the company is using pay-per-click module. So if you look, for example, here, let's say we are saying we are a car rental. So if we are a car rental, we can buy keywords such as rent a car. That could be a key phrase that we buy. So you'll see all these first links with an ad, return ad there. Those are pay-per-click. As soon as I click on this, any of this link, for example, if this is Avis, as soon as I click on Avis here, you can see it took me to the website of Avis. So what I've actually just did, I've just caused an Avis some few rands there or few cents, because now Avis have to pay Google for the click that I've just done now here. So the click that so by me clicking on any of this link, it means that a company that is advertising needs to pay Google for every click there. So imagine if I'm a competitor for any of these companies. The idea is that I want to make this company bankrupt or actually limit their marketing budget. So I can click this 100 times per day. Every time I click here. The idea is that, you know what? The more I click is the more the company pays Google, the more the company become broke. And that is what they are talking about of a click fraud, basically there with pay-per-click. Obviously, there are certain mechanisms that they are used to avoid this click fraud. For example, if it's coming from the same IP address, which means it's coming from the same laptop, same internet, no matter how many times I click the link, it will count as one. But we know the tactics that for every measurement or defensive mechanism, they will always think about new methods that they're gonna use. So we're just advising you as a digital marketer that whenever you suggest pay-per-click to a company, you need to put some sort of mechanism about to avoid the click fraud there or fake clicks. And the next one is banner advertising. And now with banner advertising, you will see it says this entails embedding an image-based advert rather than a text-based on the website to promote a brand and to build traffic to the advertiser's website. And you'll see now we've got those three types of banner adverts. First one being your intermediate ad. Like I've indicated, you'll see at the bottom of the page there, your illustrations. The first one being a YouTube and showing you the skip advert link there, which you cannot skip that advert for the first 5 seconds. It becomes an intermediate ad. So any advert that comes before a page that you are looking for, it's basically an intermediate ad. It does not have to actually be a YouTube advert. Even if maybe when you land to a certain website, the first thing that you see is an advert there, it does not pop up while you are actually on the web. It becomes an intermediate ad. Pop-up ad is the one that there's a delay when they are using pop-up ad, is that they give you a delay. Usually it's 1 minute or 60 seconds intervals that they are using, that the user must be on this page for first 60 minutes, and then we will pop up our advert. The difference or the implications for marketers here is that if we use intermediate ad, we've got users' undivided attention. They cannot do anything. They cannot close that advert. Whereas with pop-up ad, they can close that advert. However, pop-up ad comes with its own advantages over intermediate ad. For example, a user has already spent the first 60 seconds on the website, or which means the user has already absorbed the information that they are looking for. So with intermediate ad, although we've got users' undivided attention, users' mindset is still about what he actually looking for. So if I'm looking for a new song, maybe I'm searching for a new Chris Brown song, and then the advert plays, I'm not paying attention, although they've got my undivided attention for 5 seconds there. I will usually not pay attention to the advert because my mindset is about what I'm looking for. Whereas with a pop-up ad, I've already used or absorbed the information, which means my mindset at that stage, it's usually at a free space whereby I can pay attention to the pop-up ad there. And you will see that YouTube, it's actually considering, or let me not say considering, it's using, YouTube is also using a pop-up advertising. Not every advert that plays on YouTube is an intermediate ad. Because if you are watching a movie or something that is quite longer, or a video that is longer, you will see those adverts, they will still come in maybe after 8 minutes of watching a video or after 20 minutes of watching a video. It's no longer an intermediate ad. It's now a pop-up ad because it keeps popping up while you are busy watching the advert there. And then lastly, we've got your native ads, like you'll see on the last image there, showing you your related images. So for example, this is what we talk about with a native ad. It relates to the content of what we are reading. Let me show you another practical example. Let's say we go to Sowetan Live website. So if we go to any news website now, and you'll see now we've got different types of articles that we have. So let's quickly look at for an article. For example, this one is about F&B. Maybe they will advertise something that is related. This is a pop-up ad because it just came in now. Another perspective is to actually consider this an intermediate ad as well, because it comes before we read about that article. So now, as we read about F&B article here, let's see. All these other articles that we have here are native adverts to those articles. That's another perspective. You can look into it. I was hoping that usually what they do is that as soon as I read this article, maybe I'm here, I'm somewhere here. As I'm reading here, there will be a next paragraph. It could either be a paragraph about a new advert that comes here. So as a user, I'm reading an article and the advert will be here. It could also come in a form of video. What they love to do, I'm not sure why this article they didn't use it. Maybe it's because it's still new or it published today. Maybe on the old articles you can find something similar. As you read here, you will see a screen basically showing you a picture that is scrolling down. As you scroll down, it also be part of an article, and that is a native ad as well that we're talking about. So another example that we can talk about here, this will be, let's say if you go to macro stores, because this is a retail store, they can show you nice examples of native ads there. So as soon as I click maybe on the laptop, maybe I want to buy this laptop. As you go down, they should show us some sort of related products here. Unfortunately, they don't here, but in most cases, they will show you related products. For example, as soon as I want to buy a laptop, maybe they will show me things such as speakers there, things such as Wi-Fi router and so on, and they will show me the price there. For example, something such as Microsoft, this one here. Remember, I'm buying this laptop, but now they are also advertising your Microsoft package of that software there at a different price. So that is another example that we can talk about with native advertising. But for you to understand it better, think about it being used on the news articles. So our news articles website, they tend to use native ads a lot. And then we look at the tactics for basically using banner advertising, and this will be on page 395. So the page that you see there, the first one talking about we should contextualize the advert. It's on page 395 at the top there. Contextualizing the advert, for example, you can contextualize it in terms of age, in terms of gender, in terms of location, in terms of interest. What it means is that any advert that we are using, it could be an intermediate ad or a pop-up ad. That advert, you can contextualize it based on the age of the user. So for example, if this advert, we're running it on social media such as Facebook, people have put their birth dates there. And then what we're trying to do with the age factor is that some products are more related to a certain age group, and then that product will only be advertised to, maybe a product is about students, this could be about textbooks and so on. We don't necessarily need to advertise it to the larger audience. We can select our age groups and say university students, maybe from age of 15 to age of 25 or to age of 30, and then we contextualize that advert. It only appears to those people. It could be about gender. Location is the most used one. Most adverts are contextualized in terms of location. For example, if our business is about, it's in Pretoria, then the target market, if a person logs in on Facebook and they are in Cape Town, we don't necessarily need to advertise to that product. So it is advised as a digital marketing plan tactics to use that. The second one you need to highlight as well is talking about remarketing to visitors and customers. So remarketing to visitors and customers, how it works basically on page 398, if you're highlighting in the textbook there, that's where they talk about remarketing. Remarketing to visitors, we're simply showing them the advert that they've seen before. So remarketing, like it says, these people, maybe we are trying to get more of their attention. They are watching a video on YouTube. We can show this advert at the beginning of the video, and then somewhere along the side, we can remarket again and show them the advert again and customers. Another approach that they talk about in terms of remarketing there, they talk about an approach whereby these users have already purchased our products. So let's say we are Super List Fashion Retail Store. A person logs in or he goes to search engine, he sees our advert like on YouTube's, he click on the link, it takes them to our website. These people sign up, then they purchase products and they log out. So the concept is that they are already customers. We should not ignore them. We can remarket again to those customers. So as soon as they come back or to YouTube on another day, they've already bought our product. We remarket to them by showing them a premium package instead of the basic package maybe that they sign up for. So if they sign up for a normal package, we start to remarket. It's also called upsell. So we upsell those customers. We're trying to move them on the ladder. So we're trying to push them to become our premium users. So that is part of remarketing as well. And those two strategies apply to banner adverts. You will see with the first strategies, they are divided into two. We've got separate strategies for search engine optimization and separate strategies for pay per click. But in this case, we've got these strategies for banner adverts in general here. The third one, traffic building tactic that we consider, it's online PR and partners. And if you read the definition there, it says this entails increasing brand mentions on other sites to shape opinions and drive visitors to the company website. You will see they talk about this on page 409 of the textbook, online PR there. And you've got that definition there in that paragraph. You can quickly highlight it there on 7.6 on page 409. And with online public relations and partners, we've got 3 tactics that we have there. The first one, traffic building techniques, is brand mentions, whereby other organizations mention our brand. You'll see in this bottom of the screen, that illustration, that is a brand mention. So as soon as they publish any article about our brand, it falls part of brand mention. And you will see this is some sort of end media that we have there. So it's not pay per click, it takes time, and you rely on journalists to write good stuff about your brand. Affiliate marketing, being a paid media, is some sort of online PR as well, public relations. So with affiliate marketing, you'll see the middle illustration there. That was for, I think this was Uber Eats, whereby you give the gift of food to friends, and then maybe they get 100 Rand off, you also get 100 Rand off. So that is affiliate marketing. We're talking about refer a friend and so on. And the last one being part of online sponsorship. And you will see it's whereby you have an event. In this illustration, they show you our online sponsors or online partners. So this could also happen on a normal website. So we can identify partners, and then as soon as you open that specific website, it will show you the online sponsors at the bottom of the page there. If I can show you a practical example, at some stage, I think in 2011, I worked for a company called Digby Wells, which is in Joburg. And now this is an environmental company. I remember I was working as a marketing manager here, and I remember doing this part of online partners. So this company was still new at that stage. And basically, let's see if they still have those online partners. I'm just not sure of a specific page that they have, but at the bottom there, it usually used to show us our partners that we have with them there. So okay, they don't have them, but if you think about it, any website whereby they show you those partners at the end, we call them that online sponsorship. You pay for that. It could also be a situation whereby you've got an event happening, like I've indicated, and then you've got those sponsors there. So you've got digital marketing tactics for the overall online partners. So these are the strategies that you have to advise the company. So all the strategies that you see here, when you do them practically in an assessment, what it means is that you will identify that a company, maybe for example, is using affiliate marketing. And then you provide a definition of affiliate marketing. And then you provide that practical example that shows that the company is using affiliate marketing. Maybe it could be a sentence in a case study saying, when they refer a friend, they get certain amount. And then digital marketing further requires you to actually provide better suggestions for each traffic building tactics that you have. So if you said they're using affiliate marketing, you've got these various strategies that you have here, but you will see that a strategy such as this one, submit news stories online, it does not necessarily apply to affiliate marketing. It applies to brand mentions. So if you want to be more mentioned on the news, we should start submitting more news stories. Online influencer outreach, for example, that's whereby we outreach our bloggers, our content creators, our celebrities, could be someone that is have more likes on TikToks and so on, and then we start to form a partnership with that person to become our affiliate marketer. So you'll see this strategy, online influencer outreach, it applies to affiliate marketing. Creating business blogs and online news feed, you will see it applies to brand mentions there, because we are trying to become more popular. Respond to negative incidents, for example, defensive crisis PR. It also applies to brand mentions there that you have there. So basically, those strategies, another perspective that you want to look at is to look at the SS tactics for an overall traffic building tactic, which is online PR as well then. In the textbook, you've got those strategies. You can highlight them as well. So you will see they start on the, which page is this? Let's quickly see. Page 413, they talk about defensive crisis there. That's number 4. And then you've got those submit news stories online, talking about things such as your online influencer outreach program, as well as creating business blogs. All those, you will see them, they are being discussed from page 411, from page 410 actually, where they talk about those number 1, number 2, number 3. So on page 410, you've got those brand engagement activities. That's where they talk about business blogs. And then you've got number 3, buzz building activities. So all those are on the slide here, summarizing the tactics that you can use. It's a digital, for your digital marketing plan to improve your online PR, public relations, and partners there. Second last strategy that we have, or traffic building tactic that we have, is opt-in email, which is on page 425. And you've got those differences between those emails there, the 4 different types of emails. On page 425, that will be 7.8 paragraph. And then they give you in that paragraph a discussion about what is e-newsletter and opt-in email, how it works. E-newsletter inform and remind. Even if they might get deleted immediately, customers will at least notice the subject line of the message. That's the important part of the email. Even sometimes we delete it, before we delete, we'll have to read that subject line. So if our goal is to inform customers or remind them about our brand, we should write it in the subject line, or write that information in the subject line, because even if they delete that email, they don't read it, they will still read the subject line. So like we've indicated, we've got different types of opt-in emails. What you need to understand regarding the words that are used here, opt-in email is different from email campaign. So it's important to always use the word opt-in email, because it shows or illustrates that you've got customers' consent or agreement. They are the ones who said they are interested to actually receive this email, whereas an email campaign in general, sometimes they did not opt in for that as customers. So let's look at the differences. The house list emails, you will see that illustration at the bottom of the page, whereby maybe we say sign up to receive our newsletters and get 25% off. As soon as customers sign up, he becomes part of our database, and that it becomes a house list emails there. And then you've got those cold or rented list emails. What they will usually do, you'll see in this picture here, when customers sign up for certain products or services, they give them an option to say you can sign up for marketing communications, you can sign up for marketing research communications, you can sign up to receive related products. Sometimes they say receive promotions from our group or our partners and so on. So they still require your consent, because most of the time people tend to think about the rented list and say, is it illegal to rent a list from another company and send emails to those respondents? Isn't that violating some sort of privacy and some sort of Protection of Information Services Act, that which was recently passed on? But as soon as the customer has already agreed from, maybe let's say they sign up here, let's use a practical example, we are DSTV, and then customers sign up to receive communication from us. That will be house list, because their email will come on house list. While they sign up, meaning that they fill in their information, we can give them this option and say, as DSTV, we've got related products. This could be our Showmax, this could be our Jukes app, and so on. Are you interested in receiving some product related information? And then if a customer say yes, it means he has signed up to actually, for us to use that email to our partners. They can advertise to that customers. Even Standard Bank, I know it has its own partners, and mostly those are insurance companies and so on. So just take into account that cold or rented list, it's some sort of an initiative where a customer, he has opted in to receive that marketing promotion, but we know how much it's been abused. So let's not go into detail there. And co-branded email, is whereby two companies come together, they collaborate or they form a partnership. For example, in that picture that you have there at the bottom of the screen, you've got Starbucks with Spotify. For example, this was a co-branded email that they had between Starbucks and Spotify as two companies. So co-branded email could happen in various forms. For example, you can advertise in third-party newsletters. So if we advertise there and then we pay money for us to run an advert there, it's different from co-branded. With co-branded, we must form an agreement with these two companies, and then customers will receive some sort of one product. Another example that you saw in the previous assessment regarding co-branded, it's whereby they spoke about, I think it was a Tinder case study, and there was a Tinder with Lyft where customers can get a ride, and there was Tinder with Spotify again. So there was already those partnership. The only thing that was missing there is that once we have that partnership, we just have to write the communication material, which will be the email, whereby we show this co-branding them. You've got various digital marketing tactics that you have there. Whenever you use an email, so the tactics are in the textbook on page 428. You can highlight there as well. And then they are written on page 428 at top of the page there. First one being grabs attention in the subject line. Personalize your messages. Instead of dear valued customer, it should actually be personalized. Dear Mr. Smith, first name or last name. Provide opt out or unsubscribe option. This is the law. It's actually it's not some sort of a suggestion, it's a requirement. Every opt-in email should allow customers to click unsubscribe. And then we also suggest that you include a hyperlink to your website, for example, for more details, so a customer can click on that email and get more information there. So you will see these are not quite unique. They are more general, some sort of recommendations whereby we say when you use an email, you will see there is more actually than these 4 in the textbook. So you've got like 4 bullets, 8 bullets. You've got 8 bullets there in the textbook. So I've took the ones that I find quite interesting and put them on the slide there. And then the last traffic building technique that we have is viral marketing, and that is on page 428. We are on 7.9. They talk about viral marketing there. You can highlight the second paragraph on page 428 at the bottom of the page there. They explain what is viral marketing there. A clever, shocking, or informative idea that is so amazing, making people want to pass it on. It includes video clips, it includes a funny picture, it could be a cartoon, it could be a TV advert. And those words come from page 428 at the bottom of the page there. And you will see regarding the differences that we have under viral marketing. We've got the first one, email viral. Email viral, we as an organization, we send an email to our customers. You will see in that illustration there, the first picture that you have, that is email viral, whereby we start by sending it to this person and then we hope. So we make it as funny as possible, as amazing as possible, that they will want to share this email. And one person send it to 2 people, and those 2, they send it to another 2, and then you'll see the snowball effect there, how it works. And then that is just a normal email viral. Like I've indicated earlier on, with the email prompt viral, in the email itself, the content will provide this link. Click here to forward this email to a friend, and we are prompting the user to actually forward it. Here we did not prompt it, we want it to happen naturally, where else here we asking a respondent to do that. If we say click here to forward this email and receive a reward, for example, it becomes an incentivized one. So if we don't provide any reward, it's just email prompt there. And then the next one, that is N media, is web prompt viral. You will see this illustration illustrates for you what is a web prompt viral. So on the website itself, we can allow customers to enter their friends' details, and then this could be a cell phone number. For example, here, this was a newsletter that was on the website, and then it says forward. So you can click forward. I thought you will enjoy this newsletter, and then as soon as you click forward, it can take you to various platforms. Forward it on Facebook, forward it on WhatsApp. That is a web prompt viral. So we are prompting users on the web to forward or to share whatever material that we have there. That could be newsletters, that could be a catalog, and so on. Refer a friend is an incentivized one. This is whereby we say, for example, forward it to a friend. Actually, when you refer a friend, like we said earlier on, that becomes sort of an affiliate marketing. Incentivized viral, they don't refer. Maybe it could be like share it. Like you see at the bottom of the page, it says share on your Facebook, share on your Twitter, and then that becomes an incentivized viral. A web link, for example, you've got that one in that illustration whereby they say friends get 10% off when you use this code, and then that code becomes a link. So we are trying to share a link. So those differences that we have among these viral emails, the important part is that as soon as you include money or it become incentivized, you reward customers, it's some sort of a paid media, meaning that you must have enough budget for that. You've got those tactics there. They are also in the textbook. So we are on page 429. You've got those tactics there. They talk about if you want to go viral, a tactic that you have, your material must be very creative. It must have a wow effect. It must be hashtag something. And then it tends to actually trend mostly if you include a shared experience. For example, Valentine's Day, your Nelson Mandela Day, anything that we share together as a society or any day there. It could also be the next strategy. It also requires you to do seeding as well as promoting. So whatever hashtag word you have, you try and post it across all social media platforms. So you cannot rely on Twitter alone for a hashtag. You also want to do those things of challenges on Facebook, and you also want to go to TikTok. Excuse me. You also want to go to TikTok, and on TikTok you also want to try and post as much as possible. So seeding, it's about you actually trying to promote, like a seed, like it indicates, trying to promote your viral message across all platforms. That brings us towards the end of this chapter, and now we just doing a quick reflection of this slide which we've discussed previously. Now that you understand the different types of traffic building techniques that we have, you should be able to actually do this part on your digital marketing plan. So you can now try and say these are fixed duration, these are always on traffic building tactics because you understand them better. For example, if we look into these 5 viral email, we can say basically every viral email, it cannot last forever. Nothing will go viral or will trend forever. So I think viral email, we can say it's a fixed duration, some sort of a campaign. Whereas when you think about things such as the previous one, we talked about our opt-in email, this could be a continuous one because we'll keep on sending those newsletters every day to customers. It's important to always look at the learning activities and see how we ask these questions, because as soon as you understand theory, it's one thing, and it's a different thing when you have to apply it to a case study. So let's quickly have a look in terms of practical questions assessment regarding this chapter. So this is based on the case study, learning activity 7 or class activity 7. Like I've indicated, Jukes, I think we've done it previously. I think it was learning activity 4 or 3 where we used Jukes. But I want us to look at these questions here. You will see let's quickly go. Okay, this it looks different. I don't think it's the last one that this is the one that we want. The one that is, came through to your emails yesterday. You'll see it's adapted. Yeah, for example, you'll see you've got learning activity 6 here, talking about developing a digital marketing plan for Jukes. So please look into these individual questions and try and answer them at your own time. What I want us to do, I want us to play a game, a quizzes game based on this case study, because it has this question structured for you there. So it will be, I think we have 10 questions on that quizzes. So it's gonna be a 10 minutes. Please take your time, don't rush the quiz. Each question gives you about 60 seconds. Try and read and understand the context of the question before you answer, because it will be really helpful if it will be very helpful for you when you get to the test, because the questions tend to be quite similar. So let's quickly have those instructions there. So for now, in the next 2 to 3 minutes, I will suggest that you read the case study. I'm gonna call it learning activity 1, or I think we already have the number, learning activity 6. And we say number 1, read the case study. Is the Jukes one. So I'm gonna quickly mute myself here so that you can focus and pay attention to the case study. I will be typing the instructions for the quizzes. So as soon as you've read the case study, you can join the quiz. So we're gonna play the game. So let's say 3 minutes plus our 10 minutes. So we're gonna play the game up until 1:30, and we're gonna discuss the feedback there. So don't mind the silence. I'm here. You can just unmute the mic and ask any questions if you have, but focusing on the case study. Chwenyani?
So where do we find the quiz?
I'm quickly posting instructions. I will post them in the chat box here, including the game code.
Okay.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, you're probably still reading the case study, but I've posted the instructions for joining the game. So as soon as you're done reading the case study, join the game. And I will end the game exactly at 1:30. So 1 minute for each question, 60 seconds, taking you to 10 questions. Take your time because the questions are quite challenging to answer. So take your time and understand the context there. So I'm going to start the game quiz and I'm going to be on silent mode while you play the game so that you can focus. For the best experience, use two different tabs. Smartphone, it's quite recommended to play a quizzes game while you're looking on your laptop or your screen in the scoreboard. So while you're playing the game, try and take a glance at the screen that we have here showing you your leader scoreboard just to show your position and whether the answer that you've just clicked is correct or not. So have fun, enjoy the game. We will discuss feedback once you've done playing the game. So I'm going to start the game now. So as soon as you're ready, you can start playing the game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I can see some of you or a few of you started the game late, but I'll have to end the game because we need to discuss feedback and it can generate report once we ended the game. So if you are still playing, let's give it another 60 seconds. So try and complete as quickly as possible. We'll end the game just now. All right, let's quickly discuss feedback. This is an important part of the reflection to see where we did mistakes in answering the questions as well as avoiding those mistakes in future. So let's quickly look at the questions that were red flags. So firstly, congratulations, multicolor AR. Would you like to unmute the mic and just thank parents or give a speech there for being number one? Multicolor AR.
I would like to thank you, sir, and
And don't forget
and
your
also
parents.
NSFAS playing a big role. Yes, and my parents.
Thank you for
Thank
participating.
you.
All right. Thanks for that. I can see most of you did quite well here on this quiz. So let's quickly look at the questions. Question number 9, for example, all of you got it correct. So when you see something such as this one, it's 100% correct. Question number 9, where are you? You can see, okay, we've got 3 incorrect, but I think this is because of those who could not answer that question before I ended the game, because it's that's why it have that. So I'm happy with that. The only question that we can discuss feedback here is question number 3. So because most of you got it incorrect, so let's see. The question was saying, examine a traffic building technique used by Jukes management in the following example. Jukes forms a strategic partnership allowing Jukes to utilize DSTV email list and from email address in order to persuade customers to add Jukes family plan to their DSTV subscription. So you've got house list email, cold, co-branded, third party, and online sponsorship. So what we take or examine here is that, first of all, there is a partnership, and then it's not house list. That's what we see. And we also see that in that partnership, they also have a right to use the from email address, which means this email will come directly from Jukes to DSTV customers. It won't be DSTV to DSTV customers about Jukes. It will come from Jukes. So if you look at your answers here, most of you click co-branded. They saw a partnership, but they ignore the from email address. So as soon as you have, we also get rights to use the from. We are renting that email address. If it was co-branded, actually, I can understand why you also indicated co-branded. I will not be too strict about that. I think it's also a correct answer because it's a partnership between the two companies. Even if even if we have that from email address, the content could also show DSTV and Jukes, which is co-branded. So it makes sense. But the last two, online sponsorship and that part newsletter and house list, are definitely incorrect. Overall, I'm quite happy. I'm content here. You did very well. So in conclusion of today's class, we're talking about your next assessment, which is going to be a sit-in assessment that you're going to write on campus. We've got dates, but they are not final yet, but just to give you at the back of your mind, I think the date for digital marketing that we have so far, it's in the first week of November. I think that's going to be your first assessment, I think on the 3rd or so. So, but I will post all the details on Brightspace regarding your assessment. I will encourage you to use these videos session recorded. I post them on our WhatsApp group, so you can use that for reflection and revision and so on. I will post the chapters as well. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's been fun, and I hope you also enjoyed the class. And we remember chapter 7 is the last chapter we do in digital marketing. So the only thing that is left now is to just do reflection on the chapters that we've covered. There's no more new chapter that we're going to consider. Your syllabus ends on chapter 7, so you are able to develop a digital marketing plan so far. So I hope you are happy with the class. So in conclusion, please participate in the chat box here and just show any face there, any emoticon, smiley face if you're happy, sad face or angry if you are not. By the way, it was my birthday this week, so a happy birthday message is also welcome there. Ladies and gentlemen, have a lovely week and weekend and a blessed day further. Thank you. Bye-bye.